Afternoon, Endeavour. I promised another chunk of our novel boom, and here it is. Are you ready? We rejoin the story where Becky and Jimbo have decided to investigate what is in that little stone cabin. Let's go and see what happens. We did a commando shuffle through the dark, down the slope from one shadow to the next. A tree, a rock, a bank of earth. I thought about Dad, model planes and the aubergine parmesan. I thought about Mum and her natty suits, and I thought about my little room with the octopus poster and the cardboard skeleton. I thought about gravity and the Industrial Revolution. It all seemed a very long way away now, like something happening in the model village. Tiny, silly, not quite real. It wasn't fear. It was something that was past that. It was like walking away from a car accident. I felt shocked and spacey and full of adrenaline. We reached the back wall of the ruin and crouched down. It was the weirdest thing. The stones, they were cold. There was no noise from inside either. I looked at Becky and she looked back at me. The blade of her penknife flashed in the starlight. She nodded and mouthed the word, go. We stood up, tiptoed round to the front of the ruin and peeked through the hole that was used as a front door. The place was completely empty. Moonlit walls, dirty flagstones, some weeds, some little flowers. Nothing burned, no scorched earth, no crispy little person remains. Nothing. It was just like it had been when we passed it earlier in the night. Dead or not, the man had vanished. I looked up. Had the blue beam vaporised him? What would happen to us if he came on again? Would we be vaporised too? Becky, I said nervously, maybe we shouldn't hang round here. She wasn't listening. There has to be a way out. A hidden door, a secret hatch. Becky, please. I tugged her sleeve. She scraped the floor with her boot and she ran her hand over the stone walls. She ferreted among the scraggy plants growing in the corners. I'm leaving, I said. I don't like this place. Give me that wristband, she said. I'm not sure that's a good idea. Yeah? Said Becky. Can you think of a better one? In the meantime, give me the wristband. I gave her the wristband. It happened as soon as she peeled back the silver foil. The interior of the ruin was illuminated by 50 pinpricks of green light set into the stone walls. Beside the door, a panel had appeared. I snatched the wristband back and wrapped it up in its foil again. There's a button, said Becky. Just don't press it, I said. All right, said Becky, so we're just going to stand here and look at it, are we? That's going to get us very far, isn't it? She pressed the button. The floor beneath my feet dropped away and I found myself being lowered into a round shaft. Help! Jimbo! Yelled Becky, and she threw herself onto the ground and grabbed my hand. But I was falling too quickly, and our fingers were pulled apart. She stood up again and jabbed frantically at the button, but it was too late. A thick plate was sliding over my head, cutting off the hole and shutting out the light. I banged on the walls and yelled. Above me, I could hear Becky grunting as she struggled with the covering to no effect at all. A strip light came over my head, and I looked around. I was standing in a tall white ceramic tube. The walls were smooth as glass, and on one side was a panel of buttons and dials, screens and gauges. Above me, the tube was sealed tightly by the steel plate. Jimbo! 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 Came the muffled sound of Becky's voice. I gazed at the panel of buttons. Maybe one of them opened the door, but which one? And what were the others for? Pressed the wrong one, and I might be microwaved or crushed. The tube might fill with water, or sulphuric acid, or cockroaches. I was finding it difficult to breathe. Was I running out of air, or was I hyperventilating? I fumbled in the pocket of Crateface's jacket and took out a spanner. I bashed the wall with it as hard as I could. It clanged like a church bell and my fingers hurt. I hadn't made a scratch. I put the spanner back and took the wristband out and unwrapped it. Instantly the panel came alive. Figures and symbols flashed on the blue screen. Needles shook and quivered. Buttons glowed. Jimbo! Becky was still shouting faintly. I'm here, I shouted. I'm trying to get back up. I wrapped the wristband back up in its foil and put it in the pocket. Then I picked up the orange notebook and opened the code from Pierce's attic. Tresit, Pierce, 4300785. The map reference of Cororisk. This was Cororisk. Perhaps the other numbers meant something too. "Jimbo!" shouted Becky, her voice now dulled by the tube. I crossed my fingers and punched the numbers into the main keypad. 4, 3, 0, 0, 7, 8, 5. The word Pierce flashed briefly on the screen, followed by a spurt of letters and symbols. I heard a low throb coming from the machine beneath me. I pressed my back against the wall and I zipped up Craterface's jacket, braced my feet, took a deep breath and held tight. Nothing happened for several seconds, and then I heard boom! Except it was much closer and louder this time. I thought my ears were going to rupture. Every atom in my body was vibrating. I felt horribly seasick, and my clothes were covered in sweat. I covered my ears with my hands. I fell to the floor and curled up in a ball. Oh, Endeavour. What's going to happen to Jimbo? We'll have to wait and see tomorrow. See you all soon!